Inflation in the UK dropped by more than expected last month. It's fallen to 3.9%.
It may have slowed, but it still means prices are rising. And Christmas presents, Christmas dinner, food, plus all the other festive expenses are going to be higher this year.
Chief Economic Advisor at the Centre for Economic and Business, Vicky Price, joins us now. Good morning to you, Vicky. So this inflation drop, it is good news. It is a bigger drop than was expected, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I was listening to various forecasts before, and they thought maybe 4.4%. That would not have been bad, because it would have been still a decline from the 4.6 he was the previous month. But 3.9, it is quite a surprise. But of course, anyone who's been driving around London or elsewhere will have noticed that prices at the pumps have been coming down, and that's been a major reason why inflation is so much lower now than it was just a few months ago. So external factors have played their role, but also food prices internationally have been coming down for months now. In fact, for over a year, month after month after month, and we're just finally beginning to see some of that impact in the shops as well.
Vicky, why does it take so long for those food prices, which you say have been falling for, 10 months or whatever, to actually percolate into people's shopping basket?
It is a very good question. There's been a bit of concern that perhaps some of the supermarkets have been profiteering. But of course, if you look at their margins, they're not particularly high. There's been all sorts of things, supply chain issues, because there is a middleman there somewhere. There have been some droughts in some places for the foods that we, particularly in the UK, want to consume. So there have been some factors. But actually, food prices should have come down a lot earlier. And it's one of the issues which I think the government has looked at, but so far hadn't managed to do anything very much. But supermarkets themselves have suddenly decided that perhaps they should be cutting their prices. Branded food prices have still gone up quite a lot, still going up. But if you look at what supermarkets are actually offering right now, they are using a lot more own label or standard products that they're selling, and people are buying those. So even the basket of goods that we're buying has changed to reflect the fact that people don't have enough money, so they're gravitating to other things. So when you're calculating what is being spent and what those particular prices are, then that's beginning to come down. That's good news.
So will people think Christmas is more expensive this year compared to last, Vicky?
Oh, definitely. There are so many items still, including some of the food prices, which are considerably higher now than they were a year ago. But what it does suggest is, particularly with wages now rising faster than inflation, that at least there is a little bit of an improvement in the way that people will feel. And we've seen that already in consumer confidence. It's gone up a little bit, which is good news. I mean, the consumer is still overall negative when they respond to surveys, but at least that negativity has been reduced quite significantly. There's still the issue of high mortgage rates, and of course, we've got taxes which have been going up. So overall, living standards are still suffering.
And of course, Vicky, the energy prices have fallen quite sharply, but there are reports now that they could start rising again next year. And we also know the activity that's going on, BP's tankers that can't go through the Suez because of these potential terror attacks, 10-day longer journey, oil prices, gas prices rising too.
Absolutely. But of course, this is something which is affecting all countries and will be affecting all countries. One of the problems that we've had here in the UK is that we had been way above other countries in terms of getting our inflation to come down as fast as others have done. So in the US, it's been at around 3% for quite some time. In Europe, it's still 2.4%, so very close to target. We've been slower. Yes, of course, we do import rather a lot of our energy, and that's been an issue, and it might affect us a bit more. But you're right. The truth is that month on month, we could see some changes, sometimes an increase, but from quite a low base now. And remember again that in January, the electricity price cap goes up a little bit, so that's going to be reflected also in what consumers have to pay. So yes, we have to be prepared for a bit of ups and downs, but overall the trend is downwards, and I sincerely hope that the Bank of England will take note and start cutting rates soon.
Well, that was going to be my next question. You're not on the Monetary Committee, of course, of the Bank of England, Vicky, but if you were, would this be the right backdrop for a cut in interest rates?
Most definitely. And I really find it very strange that even in December, when they must have had some indication of what prices we're going to be doing, 3 policy members from the Monetary Policy Committee voted for an increase in interest rates. It makes absolutely no sense. What we've seen in the US, they're already indicating a cut, perhaps 3 cuts coming over the next year, maybe more. And the markets clearly have decided not to believe what the Bank of England says and are pricing in more than 1 whole point cut during 2024, which means at 25p each percentage points each time, 0.25, we might actually see 5 cuts during the year if they are right. But let's wait and see.
Very interesting. That's Vicky Price. Vicky, lovely to talk to you, and have a lovely Christmas. We're going to go live to. We're going to go live actually to a Christmas market. I think.
Yes, Jack Carson is in Birmingham in the West Midlands, which always does a fabulous German Christmas market. Jack, I imagine it's very busy there today, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just as the day's gone on and people have started to come into town for that last-minute Christmas shopping, and of course we're going to be grabbing a bit of a beer, a bit of a sausage from this German Christmas market here. It is actually the biggest Christmas market in the country, stretching all down the high street. And of course people today, the word on their lips very much inflation, and of course what that is meaning to them. Now inflation, of course, we know very much this year of this last month has fallen, mainly due to the price of fuel. That came down around 4.1p per litre over the last few months. That's helped bring inflation down, but particularly as well, what is maybe better news for people buying that Christmas food for their table is, of course, food price inflation particularly. Now that has fallen now for 8 months in a row. It's level now of around 9.2% last month. That's the lowest it's been since last May. So certainly, well, yes, that is still inflation. While things still are high, the fact that it's consecutively and consistently falling, of course, is very good news for those consumers who are looking to grab those bits for the kitchen table, for their Christmas dinner. Now, when it comes to actually how much we're spending, particularly this Christmas, now Top Cashback have done a survey. They say that £280 on average is what we're spending less per our Christmas, basically spending this year. Of course, when you add that up, that equates to around £13 billion that we're not spending and is not going into the economy. So people really trying to tighten their belts. But on the impact of inflation and prices and how people are really finding their Christmas shopping, I've been speaking to people here at the Christmas market. Here's what a few of them told me.
Yes, I think everything's gone up, you know, but as a pensioner, we're sort of keeping abreast, you know, and buying things for the family. Very much a normal Christmas.
Everything's up, the food and everything. I mean, for instance, we like cream cheese, and at one time I used to be able to buy it for 50, 60 pence. Now it's nearly £2 for a small pot of cream cheese. And anything to do with Christmas, the turkeys, the meat, it's well above what it should be, to be honest.
I mean, we have, for the last couple of years, we've been doing the Secret Santa because it's such a big family that you couldn't really afford now to buy each individual a present.
So we decided
Secret Santa's the way now, definitely.
Yeah, so obviously that's very much the opinion here on the street. People definitely tightening their belts, and of course lots of them using those loyalty schemes around the supermarkets and being really strict with our shopping list to try and make every penny count this Christmas.
Jack Carson in the middle of beautiful Birmingham, thank you very much.